Right, shalom, shalom. First, I'd like to give all praises unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Waraka Kodash, and double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Honors to you brothers out there in the highways and the byways, teaching this word in all sincerity and in truth. And Esau Edom, like the elder Sakaram said a long time ago, man, he's the devil, and he's gonna continue to be the devil until the day that he's destroyed. All right, Esau always tries to control reality, rewrite reality by spinning his lies, man, and controlling the narrative. And that's what he's been doing as it pertains to so-called UFOs, and he's trying to do it some more. All right, this is why the majority of people, the earth, when you think about UFOs, they don't think about the chariots of Israel. They don't think about the angels. They think about what? Little green men. And that's because through popular media, right, and psychological operations, they've controlled that narrative. They've spread that narrative. But we're here to tell the truth that the one who you call Jesus Christ, his real name is Yahushua, he's going to return in a giant, what you would call a UFO, with the angels. Many so-called UFOs, the chariots of Israel. That is how he's going to return, right? And they are going to conquer this planet and take Esau Edom and remove him from authority. That's what's going to happen. There ain't no little green men or no aliens as popular media would describe it to you. So anyway, you got this news that came out that religious leaders, which we know that these religious leaders are all part of secret societies. They're in on the game. So these religious leaders were told to prepare for UFO disclosure to unleash Bible-changing revelations, because everything Esau does ever since the Royal Society in Britain has all been about eroding the validity of the Bible in the eyes of the people. All right, that's what evolution was all about, and a whole host of other lies and pseudoscience. And it's no different when it comes to the narrative that he spins to the people about UFOs. It's all about destroying the faith of the people in the word of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. And once you don't believe in the Bible, Esau has you. All right. It says influential pastors are claiming that they have been told to prepare their followers for shocking revelations about UFOs, which may upend belief in the Bible. All right. Ridiculous. But this is what the devil does. All right. This is Psalms 144:7. Send thine hand from above and rid me and deliver me out of the great waters, from the hand of strange children. That's Esau Edom, whose mouth speaketh vanity, right? He's made up a whole genre regarding little green men and aliens. And it's all lies. You got guys like Bob Lazar. Oh, in Area 51, they got alien craft. It's all lies and BS. Cunningly devised fables. The whole Roswell, the Men in Black. Oh, the government's hiding it. It's all a psyop. It's all a psyop, misdirection, lies, deceit. And that's what Esau's good at. To get people away from the truth that these UFOs that are otherworldly, right, are actually the angels of the Lord. And they are hostile. They're hostile towards Esau. Right? And they cannot be defeated, and they don't crash. Yeah. That Roswell nonsense. But they set all that Roswell up so that to give the people something to chew on, to misdirect them away from the truth. Right? Whose mouth speaketh vanity, and their right hand is the right hand of falsehood. That's what Esau's good at. Falsehood, psychological operations, misdirections. And it will be intricate too. He'll have whistleblowers. The whistleblowers is lying. Like Bob Lazar. Bob Lazar, oh yeah, I was, and I see it. The shit. Bullshit. They ain't got no chariot in no Area 51. Area 51 is a psyop. That's what they want you to believe, because they want you to believe there's little green men. It's BS. All right? To hell with Bob Lazar. He's an agent. He's part of the psyop. And the rest of them phonies. All right? Right? 2 Thessalonians 2:9. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders. Yeah, let's get that. Lying wonders, the psychological operations, man. Deceit, false flags, pseudos, right? A conscious and intentional falsehood, which is what Little Green Men is, E.T. All right? Conscious and intentional falsehood, like 9/11. All right? Lies. That's what these men are good at. Right. Where we at? Oh. So it's a history. So when you go back in history, all right, you know, you got the biblical imagery of the chariots, right? The medieval times, there was celestial omens, things of this nature. When you get down into the 1900s, right, now you're starting to get Esau to trying to control the narrative through popular media. All right, so you got things like the modern imagery. So when you think about UFOs, you think about aliens. You're gonna be affected by popular media, the movies you've watched, the books you've read, I should say, not the books you've read, the books you've read, right? And these have pushed an image in your mind. So when you think about it, that's what you think it is, right? So the modern alien imagery formed in books, magazines, and radio. Key works: The War of the Worlds by H.G. Wells, hostile invaders from another planet, right? They were sowing the seeds of the deception. A Princess of Mars by Edgar Rice, right? Pulp magazines like Amazing Stories normalize space beings, ray guns, and flying craft. This is why the majority of people today in these generations, for them, like the idea of an alien is more believable than an angel, because of how popular media has pushed it in their minds. Right? The 1938 radio panic, you know, when they broadcast over the radio. The 1947, the birth of the modern UFO era, right? The press corner flying saucers. You had the Roswell incident, which is a psyop. The Roswell incident is a psyop. And they made it look like this thing actually happened and it was a cover-up, when nothing happened at all. There was nothing that happened. But the cover-up is, oh, there was Men in Black and there was aliens and little gray aliens. That was the psyop. Okay, and that's why that particular thing is pushed in popular media, the grays and all that, because that's what they want people to believe is what's being hidden. When the truth is, what's really being hidden is the truth which is in the Bible. And that's what they're not going to point towards. They're pointing you as far away from that as possible. So the Roswell incident, Army first said flying disc recovered, then changed their story to a weather balloon. This reversal created secrecy narratives, cover-up theories, and crash retrieval mythology. Roswell later became the central UFO mythos. So they've created a whole mythology from the so-called Roswell incident, right? Which is all a lie, right? The 1950s, Cold War plus contact ease. Then you have people coming out saying they came into contact with aliens and all this stuff. And Hollywood, the biggest influence. Films, The Day the Earth Stood Still, Invasion of the Body Snatchers, Forbidden Planet. Also, you got was it something of the fourth kind, Encounters of the Fourth Kind, E.T. Right, E.T. These embedded saucers, humanoid aliens, invasion fears, and hidden infiltration. All right, 1960s, 70s abductions and conspiracies. Right, the gray alien emerges. Classic features: large head, black almond eyes, small mouth, thin body. This image became dominant through TV, books, films, and so-called witness reports. This is how they pushed this bullshit into your mind. Popular culture, Star Trek, Close Encounters of the Third Kind by Steven Spielberg. Alien contact became mysterious rather than purely hostile. 980s and the 90s is peak UFO culture. Mass media saturation, right? So books, TV like the X-Files, themes, government secrecy, military black, which is why now the government's gonna let all the information out. Yeah, sure. Abductions, hybrids, hidden bases, right? This heavily shaped modern beliefs. So the people are already primed to believe these lies because these lies, it ain't nothing new. It's something that's been pushed on them through the media over years, over generations, to push them away from belief in the Bible and to understand the phenomenon from a biblical perspective, but to understand it from the lie. Right? Internet era, media decentralizes. Now narrative spread via forums, video platforms, podcasts, like flipping Bob Lazar on fucking Joe Rogan talking about how he was working in Area 51 and he saw an alien ship and all this garbage. Get the hell out of here. Right? But the point is that Esau, Edom is the devil, and he's gonna do what the devil does. He's gonna try and take control of the narrative, which again is an exercise in futility. Because when the chariots come and destroy you and put you in slavery, your narrative's not gonna really mean much then. But this is what happens. So we gotta come out and get the record straight. All right, Yahweh Shai is coming back in them clouds, as the scripture called them. Right? Revelations 1 and 7, behold, he cometh with clouds. And that's why they show you that imagery in Resident Evil. But again, they falsify it, and little green man and all this stuff. Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all the kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. Even so, amen. All right, that cloud is really talking about a so-called UFO, and that's how the Lord's coming back. So it's not against the Bible. But see, this is how these devils operate, man. This is the book of Acts 1 and 9. And when he had spoken these things while they beheld, he was taken up, and a cloud received him out of their sight. And while they looked steadfastly toward heaven as he went up, behold, two men stood by them in white apparel. These were two angels, which also said, Ye men of Galilee, why stand ye gazing up into heaven? This same Yahushua which is taken up from you into heaven shall so come in like manner as ye have seen him go into heaven. So we go into it all the time. We go into the chariots and how they're mentioned in the Bible, and how these chariot sightings that you've seen, a lot of them is real, and it's actually the chariots of the Lord menacing Esau. But Esau's got to run his propaganda to try and control the narrative and the alien disclosure and all this foolishness, man. That's why Esau, that's another reason why Esau's got to go. Always lying, man. But the Bible is true. Simple as that, man. So if that, I'm going to say shalom.